Hello and welcome to another edition of Sand Shark Bites. If you can still hear us after that intro, pretty intense intro, one of the more intense intros in public television, college sports coaches shows, if you want to call it that. I'm Justin Jarrett, Sports Information Director at USCB, and joined as always by the Toyota Tercel of co-hosts, Professor James A. Duffy. He's a doctor in our books. Doctor of, I don't know what.
What? Yeah.
Dr. Feelgood.
Next.
He makes everyone happy.
Let's talk sports.
Well, Duffy, we're off and running here in the fall season. Last week we're kind of getting into the swing of things, and I guess we still are to some extent. Soccer's still the only team this fall that has competed as of now, but it's starting to feel real. We got our first home games under our belt, and even though you weren't able to join us, you're relieved, I'm sure, that we went 1-1 because that means you're not a total jinx.
Proves
right?
me not the jinx this year.
Right. It was a great weekend for Sand Shark Soccer. Hopefully you got to maybe catch some of the action on Stretch Internet or.
I caught Coach Ed Heberling's coach broadcast on the recap on the YouTubes there.
Mike Manning, assistant coach for women's soccer, doing some great things. We need to get him more work apparently because he's got time to do all these little extra things like produce a weekly recap show. So check that out, USCB Soccer on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. They're doing a few really cool things to give you a little bit more behind the scenes look at that team, and I think it's going to be great for fans. It was a great weekend on the pitch. 4-0 win over Montreat on Friday. And then a tough 4-2 loss to number 14 Campbellsville on Sunday, but a really strong effort by the ladies. And I, for one, am very excited about this weekend as long as we're not in the middle of a hurricane. I don't like soccer played in the middle of a hurricane, or tropical storm.
Tropical depressions may lead to depression, but we'll hopefully have some good news coming out of that soon. A 2-1 start, not a shabby start. First home opener win in Sand Shark Soccer history. We're really pleased with that. It's
great crowds as well. The fan support, especially on Friday, was phenomenal. Dropped off a little bit on Sunday, but we still had a good crowd.
Finnegan's out in the world.
Finnegan
Friday
came out. We had the kids out shooting goals against him, and it was a lot of fun.
Nice.
The youth day, I think, was well received and had quite a few kids out there. So that was great. And a couple more great games coming up this weekend if the weather stays away. Saturday, 1 o'clock against Faulkner from Alabama. And then Monday on Labor Day, 1 o'clock against Bernal from Georgia. And we expect those to be good matches for Sand Shark Soccer if they play the way they did this past weekend. Saw some great play from the returners. Bridget Noonan and Karen Pimentel are kind of the veteran leaders. Haley Pena as well, but then some of the freshmen, phenomenal. Elin Sturesen in the back line played very well. Brooke Newman back there. Felicia Alpenmuir
and calling a game
of goals.
with Newman and Noonan on the same side of the field is going to be a little tricky here and there.
It's a little tricky
when that happens.
And Brooke and Bridget, so they're both BR and Noonan.
Thing to watch for, Haley Pena has tied Alexa Muffley.
Yeah, she's tied her for the points lead.
Total points lead,
I believe.
36 points overall.
Still a couple of goals away, and I believe 1 assist away from Jessica Tooley. So she's close to topping the charts in all three scoring categories, and she's still got almost 2 full seasons to do it. So it looks very good for Haley Pena to become
going down the books.
The queen of USCB soccer scoring, I suppose. But Felicia Alpenmuir, a freshman, may make a run at her before it's all said and done. She scored in 2 straight games. She was the Bojangles player of the game on Sunday.
Thank you, Bojangles.
Cameron Crony-Clark took home Bojangles player of the game honors on Friday. Great to see her, a kid who's been here for 4 years and had some injuries and had difficulty getting on the field at times. Great to see her come off the bench and give us a great lift against Montreat and play so well and get some accolades.
A perpetual resident on my list of all-time favorite students and soccer players, Cameron Crony-Clark.
There's always something going on behind the scenes with that one.
Yeah, she's
always
tricky. She's crafty.
Always got that.
Gotta watch her.
That grin on her face, so you know there's something going on in that brain.
Smirking. There's a smirk.
There is a smirk for sure. But yeah, great start to the season. Hopefully you can get out and see some games this weekend. If not, we'll have both of them on the Sand Game Day Network once again, so you can check them out there. And it's going to be a great season for Sand Soccer. If you don't get out there this weekend, you're going to have to wait like a month.
Yeah,
it's like 3 weeks before we get back home. So come on out. Monday's a holiday, of course. Come on out in the afternoon, watch a game, and
what do you do when to fill the time between that game and the next games? You come up to the USCB Center for the Arts.
Ah, yes.
Just a quick plug.
Yeah.
9 to 5, the musical will be performed at the USCB Center for the Arts in Beaufort.
Are you playing the Dolly Parton character?
Yeah. Thanks for that. Yes. Yeah. I'm in it, but I'm not the reason to come see it. But it's going to be great. I have pretty much danced myself out of all of the dance numbers, so that's should be reassuring for those of you theater goers who are paying good money for a show. I won't be dancing.
It's probably for the best.
Yeah.
They'll probably save the show right there.
So it's September 9th and 11th, I think, or is a Friday and Sunday, and then the next weekend, the 16th, 17th, and 18th. We've got shows. Check it out at USCB Center for the Arts.
9 to 5, hilarious.
9 to 5,
good
hilarious, hee-haw funny.
Yep, I remember it. So it's been a great start for Sand Soccer. A couple more teams yet to get underway. Cross country hoping to get underway this Saturday. They were scheduled to go Friday down to Lakeland, Florida. That meet has already been canceled because of the impending rain event, weather event down there. So they've shifted gears. They're supposed to go up to Columbia for the Palmetto Cross Country Festival hosted by Columbia International, our old friend Kim Abbott up there, former AD at USCB. Weather permitting, which we think it will. They shouldn't get too many ill effects of the storm up there, and it's supposed to be cleared out by Saturday. So cross country will get underway. Of course, Betsy Douglas, the big returning name. Nick O'Neill on the men's side.
Betsy Douglas is just, again, one of those kind of all-around great people, too. She's a tremendous athlete. She's so nice when you talk to her. I've never had her in class, but she still comes up and just talks to me because
the world would be better if everyone were half as good as Betsy Douglas. Absolutely true. So, yeah, some exciting runners there as well. I know Coach Kimball, we tried to get him on the show this week. He said, I just don't want to do it until after we have a race under our belt. I don't want to, speak out of turn. He wants to see what they've got before he says too much. But he's excited about the women's team in particular. The men are a work in progress, but they're trying to nurse those guys along.
A lot of new names.
They've been working hard. Yeah. They've been working hard.
And if you look at a lot of those guys, they don't look like traditional cross-country runners either.
You don't think Akira Durst looks like a
cross-country runner? Or Kevin Valdez.
Or Kevin Valdez?
Yeah.
They look like Marines.
They do. Well, yeah, there's good reason for that.
Yeah, one of them is.
But yeah, not your typical cross-country runner, but men with real goals in mind and what athletics can do for them in their college career and what they can do to support the home team.
And great Sand Sharks, and we'll be cheering them on throughout the season, and hopefully get Coach Kimball on next week to talk a little bit about how it went at Columbia this weekend.
Or maybe his assistant coach.
Well, Sarah Turbiati?
Yeah.
Yeah, we may get her on here. Coach likes to talk, though, so
yes, he does.
I don't know if we could talk him out of it.
Depends on how much time we got for the show. If we don't want a long show, Sarah will come on.
There you go.
If we got time to kill, Coach Larry.
There you go. And men's and women's golf still a little over a week away from getting started. Men were supposed to play a little scrimmage with Scad Savannah on Friday. Last I checked, it was a 100% chance of rain all day Friday. So not looking good for that one to get underway. Savannah Harbor is where they were going to play. It's built literally on a swamp. Will probably be underwater Friday and potentially through mid-September or so. So maybe not. Maybe not.
We'll get you more coverage of men's golf as the forecast allows us.
Yeah, but I will report that I had lunch with several of the men's golfers today with Coach Allen, and I took their headshots the other day, and good group of dudes.
Yeah?
Only 2 returners with Bobby Duffy and Riley Shank, but Shank had a phenomenal summer, former walk-on, looks like he's going to be far and away the #1 player this year. Great story, just has worked so hard to get his game in shape. And
I thought he was a senior, and he's a sophomore or junior.
Yeah, he's a sophomore. Well, he's a junior, but he's a sophomore eligibility-wise, could have.
All those golfers look like they're 45 years old.
Some of them do. Bobby looks like he's about 14.
Yeah, there's one or the other.
Yeah. But no, a bunch of freshmen and a few transfers and just a good group of guys. And Coach said in the first 2 rounds of qualifying, Shank's running away with the number 1 spot, but 2 through 9 or so are within about 4 shots of each other. So going to be a very competitive atmosphere on that team. They're going to, they're going to push each other to get better and expect them to do good things. I think they came in ranked at 18th in the preseason poll, so kind of flying under the radar a little bit after finishing 8th in the country last year, but don't sleep on them. They're going to be good. And women's golf, they are still, I believe they also go to Sea Island on the 12th and 13th.
They can all take the same bus.
Yeah. That team, we know what to expect out of them. They've got 4 starters returning. They're ranked 6th in the country in the preseason poll. They have a new coach who really has a great vision for the program, and I can't wait to see what they can do this year. I was on record that they were going to win the first national championship in program history last year. It didn't happen, but I think in the next 2 years, I think it's going to happen.
It's a great team, and that's a great group of people. The women on the golf team there, they're just all so positive, enthusiastic, ready to play, excited to play.
And you love their accents.
And it's a variety of accents.
How's the Germans?
It's a European smorgasbord.
Yeah, a couple Germans, a Swede, an English woman. Now we've added someone from Spain. We've got the globe covered.
We got Europe covered.
So, yeah, well, true enough, fair enough, and 1 American.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a great season for all USCB athletics. But like I said, only 1 spring sport or fall sport underway so far. The others are holding off until their season gets started to come on the show. So we had to go looking for a guest, and old Bam Christian, Jeremy Christian, new baseball coach. He never met a camera he didn't like. He likes to talk in front of the camera. Has a master's from Tennessee in communication, focusing digital media. So he was fired up when I asked him if he'd wanted to be on the show today. So we're going to talk with him a few minutes about getting to know his new team, the Sand Shark baseball team, coming up right here on Sand Shark Bites. By a first-time guest, newcomer to the program and to the department, Jeremy Christian, better known around here as Bam. We're starting to get in the mix of calling you that. At least I am. And some people may recognize the name. We hyped you up a little bit last week on Sand Shark Bites, but of course you may recognize him from Point University because he kind of spoiled our May last year. Came into Savannah, and his Skyhawks won the NAIA opening round baseball tournament and went on to Lewiston, Idaho.
Yes,
so if you can't beat them, hire them, right?
Absolutely. We're glad you did.
Bam joined us a couple of weeks ago, and he's already got the guys going hard. Jeremy, just kind of walk us through, these first couple of weeks of getting acclimated here on campus and getting to know your team a little bit.
Well, obviously, anytime you step into a new situation, new program, there's a lot going on, and you've got to take care of things not only with the team but also personally, and moving houses and moving families. But the biggest thing here was just trying to get used to the guys and have them get used to me and what we're trying to do and the changes in the program. And we just want to make sure that they knew we're not trying to blow things up. We're not trying to overhaul the program, but we are trying to implement our program and what we're trying to do to make this program better and really prepare these guys for what's to come in the future. So early on, it's been great. It's been an opportunity to meet these guys, get them to buy into what we're doing and what we're trying to do and what we look forward to doing here in the future.
And it seems like the reception's been good. Even when they can't lift their arms, they seem to be pretty happy with the way things are going. Right. Tell folks a little bit about what it is that you are trying to do. I know there's a lot of focus on competition, strength training, just kind of changing that mindset, just be hard-nosed, competitive guys, even whether you're playing baseball or pushing a truck or doing a tug-of-war out on the sand volleyball court or whatever it is.
The biggest thing about the program we try to preach is competition. And I guess from a coaching philosophy standpoint, it's about competition, it's about development, and really trying to mold young men and get them not in just baseball, but academically, athletically, socially, spiritually, scholastically. What can we do to better improve our guys so when they come in here in August and they graduate 4 years from now, they're better men and better people. And competition, development go hand in hand inside our program. And there's going to be days we step on the field of play when we don't have our best stuff. And if you're not if you don't have your best stuff and your opponent does, you've got to find a way to compete to the very end to give yourself a chance to be in a game that you might not necessarily be in. So competition is huge, and we work hard in the weight room, work hard in conditioning, we work hard on the field of play, and we're going to compete day in, day out. There's a winner, there's a loser every day in everything we do. Like you said, if we're if we're in the cafeteria, if we're in the classroom, if we're on the field of play, there's going to be a winner, there's going to be a loser every day. And the guys are buying into that, and they're learning to love competition. And we want them to ultimately, I want them to want to win, but I want them to hate losing more than they like winning. And when we can accomplish that, then the sky's the limit. The talent is here. The team is a great team. We're not trying to change anything from the physicality of the team, but I want these guys to learn to compete and love to compete, because that's something that's going to transcend not just now, but also outside of the classroom, on the field of play, but as they get further in life, when they're competing for jobs and throughout the course of their life.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to ask you too much about the baseball side of things, because the guys who are coming back, you know pretty well. You got to see them up close and personal in the opening round, but a lot of new faces, not only to you, but to me, to everybody around the program. So haven't even seen them on the field yet. But who are the guys who, some of the guys that folks don't know about yet, who stand out to you as guys who have that edge, who are going to be able to help us out this year?
And we've got a great group of newcomers, and not just freshmen. And you're right. I haven't seen some of these guys on the field of play yet, but when you're around these guys now for a couple weeks, and you get used to them being in the weight room and on the intramural field and just in strength and conditioning sets, the one thing that I have noticed is the majority of the team have fit really well. The chemistry is pretty good. Anytime you have an old team returning with multiple veterans, you've got a senior class here that's pretty large. You bring in a bunch of high school freshmen along with a bunch of transfers. You've got some guys that normally it might not gel well, but they have really mixed in well. And you throw in the fact that we've got a new coach and a new staff, and that changes things. But for the most part, the overall chemistry's been great. And I haven't got to see these guys from a sheer skill standpoint yet. But I've got a bunch of guys who are really working hard in the weight room, and I don't want to single anybody out yet from who's excelling here and there, but when you look at numbers, you look at what they've done on the field, they kind of speak for themselves. But all the guys have worked really hard in the weight room, and they're giving me everything they have. They're going to failure. They're competing. They're not just going through the motions. They all want to step out and make their name known. And the old heads that are here have really responded well to that too, and really bringing this new class in. And it's a good mix of young and old, and the high school kids that have just got here are wide-eyed and trying to figure out what I've got myself into, and the transfers are the exact same thing. This is not junior college. It's not a different four-year school, and we're going to do things differently than a lot of folks do. So it is a big change for a lot of folks, but the guys have really stepped out and done everything we've asked them to this point, and whether they can move their arms, their legs today or not, doesn't matter. They keep on going all in for us, and it's exciting time here at USCB.
Yeah, we're excited to have you, and we know you're fired up.
Yes, sir.
What do you guys have planned for the fall? When we get started on the field, have some inter-squads planned or any kind of fall World Series or anything like that?
Yes, sir. Our normal practice, the way we set it up, is we end up practicing 5 days a week. We'll go Monday through Friday, and we'll inter-squad every Saturday. That gives us a chance to really see our guys in action. There's always something on the line. There's always a winner, always a loser. So there's a competition every day at practice. There's a competition on different parts of the field, and then of course each inter-squad will have something on the line as well. So the losers will have a little extra work to do, whether it be on the field or we won't give out too many of our secrets just yet. But we'll have, needless to say, they want to win. Winners will enjoy and losers will pay. We'll finish up our fall season with a World Series. We'll split the team in half and have a great World Series. There will be Beef and Beans World Series where the winners will get beef and the losers will get beans. And there'll be some other things that go into that as we get closer to it. But always something on the line. And we're looking to begin practice either the beginning of next week or the following week. Obviously we're a little bit later than most folks are. I normally don't start practice till September. I'm probably going to push it back another week just to give us a chance to make sure that we are physically capable of practicing at a high level. I think we need about one more week in the weight room to make sure that we are in shape and we can go out there and compete at a high level and be able to win some positions. So that might push us a little bit later in the fall than normal, but we're going to start a little bit here. Probably in the next week and a half, 2 weeks, we'll go full go out on the diamond.
Well, as you can see, high intensity guy. It's going to be a lot of energy at the ballpark in Hardeeville next spring. So we're looking forward to it.
Awesome.
If you see this guy around, I'm sure you'll recognize him. He kind of stands out. And say hello. Let him know you're a Sand Shark fan. Thanks for joining us, Bam.
Awesome.
And we'll have you on again soon.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Be right back with more here on Sand Shark Bites.
At the University of South Carolina, Beaufort, we offer small classes, individual attention, and an affordable education in an atmosphere that fosters diversity and achievement.
We are students.
We field 9 Sand Shark sports teams that compete in the Sun Conference.
We are athletes.
We are one university with 2 campuses serving the coastal areas of South Carolina and Georgia.
We are the Low Country.
We are the fastest growing four-year school in the University of South Carolina system. We are USCB.
Gotta love Coach Bam.
You gotta love a guy who's not afraid to come on and talk. You know, we got lots of information there.
He's intense, man. The spit was flying.
It's nice to have someone who's not reticent about their enthusiasm.
Yeah, he's just 2 doors down from me. We shuffle our offices around over in the rec center, and I find myself over there a lot chatting with him. He likes to talk, and he'll keep you posted on what's going on, and he's just fired up to be here, fired up to be a Sand Shark, and we're excited to have him.
Real different personality.
Yeah.
That we've had in that
office
and
nothing against Brian Llewellyn. I found myself in Brian Llewellyn's office a lot because that man can tell a story.
He was compelling.
He was a storyteller. He could tell a story. But yeah, it's been fun getting to know Bam, and he's enjoying getting to know his guys, and we're all excited about what's going to happen this spring with not only baseball but with softball as well, and all the spring sports, track and/or field. They're building their runways over there right now, getting their long jump and pole vault pits ready to go.
And every day, every way, we're getting better and better.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. It's been awesome. Well, I think we've rambled on long enough for these poor folks, so there's only one thing left to do, and that is to select the Sand Shark Bites Athlete of the Week. And we had some good contenders this week. The soccer team played very well. Several players really stood out, but for me, it was a fairly easy pick. I didn't have to think about it too long. It's our Swedish freshman, Felicia Alpenmuir. Close enough, Felicia? Close, pretty close. Alpenmuir, she scored 2 goals, scored her first career goal against Montreat. Won't be her prettiest one ever. She kind of mishit it a little bit and trickled it inside the far post, but her second goal was a beauty. She hit a beautiful strike with her left foot and beat Campbellsville goalie Amanda Howard, an All-American, with just a gorgeous shot, one of the prettiest goals we'll see all year. And more than that, she just, Jim Glasson and I raved about her all weekend. She was all over the field. I've never seen a forward who helps so much back on defense. She was strong with her challenges, skillful with the ball, has good speed, and really I think she's going to be a phenomenal player for us, and hopefully open up the possibility of bringing in more players from overseas who can have an immediate impact like she has. So congratulations to Felicia, and many more awards in your future, I'm sure. Look forward to seeing you play again this weekend. Well, that's going to do it for us in another edition of Sand Shark Bites. We'll be back same time next week. Until then, keep those fins up.